Today is January 15th, and if the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had lived, he would be celebrating his 83rd birthday today. Instead, we are called to celebrate and remember his life, legacy, and ministry. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Dr. King's work related to race and racism. And perhaps some of you have read or heard some of his sermons quoted. Are you aware that Dr. King was killed when he was just 39 years old? This means that the majority of the time he was a leader in the civil rights movement, he was a young adult. At the age of 30, Dr. King gave a speech before the Youth March for Integrated Schools in 1959. And he stated, "Whatever career you may choose for yourself, doctor, lawyer, teacher, let me propose an avocation to be pursued along with it. Become a dedicated fighter for civil rights. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a greater person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in." The world we live in today is not much different from the world that Dr. King experienced back in the 1950s and early 1960s. A world where war is still believed to be the answer to some problems. A world where those with the gold continue to make the rules. And many of those who work to produce the gold continue to live in poverty. A world where different oppressions rob the majority of the world's population from evolving to their full human potential. The problems and challenges that Dr. King and other civil rights leaders fought for and died for are problems and challenges we still face today. Dr. King remarked, "We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. And whatever affects one of us directly affects all of us." Our Seventh Unitarian Universalist principle reflects Dr. King's words as it challenges us to have respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Dr. King clearly saw the connection between racial injustice and poverty. In fact, he believed that poverty was as much a challenge to America as racism, a challenge that the Occupy movement made loud and clear this past year. Tomorrow, across the country, communities will engage what has now become known as a day of service. How are you going to serve? How are you going to answer Dr. King's call to become a dedicated fighter for civil rights and make a career of humanity by committing yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights? How are you going to live your faith?